After a disappointing start to the homestand, the Twins say good riddance to the Rays and hello to the Cleveland Indians. Tonight is the first of 3 games against the Tribe and 13 straight against teams in the AL Central, which is a cluster of competition. Detroit leading the pack, but just 5.5 games separate the other 4 teams. So a big opportunity these next 2 weeks for the Twins to try to make up some ground in the Central Division. Welcome inside Target Field on a hot and humid night. I'm Jamie Hirsch. The Twins need to forget about their weekend series against the Rays, and quickly. Tonight, the challenge will be stopping a 3-game skid, and here it's time to set the stage for the series between the Indians and the Twins. The bullpen has really been a bright spot lately. The relievers only allowed 1 earned run in 3 games against the Rays with an ERA of 1.86 in the month of July. But the pitching staff needs a little help from their friends, particularly the guys in the middle of the batting order. Right now, the 3 through 6 batters hitting just .228 and need to pick up the pace. That's because the Indians have had plenty of power on their end. 22 home runs already in the month of July to lead the majors. All-star Michael Brantley leads the Tribe with 15 homers this year. And the Indians are making their first trip to Target Field this season, but they've made themselves right at home here, winning their last 6 in a row, including a 4-game sweep in late September to clinch a spot in the postseason. That is still a fond memory for Terry Francona's club, and one the Twins are hoping to erase with a victory tonight. That'll depend in large part on Chris Johnson. The Twins hoping to have some luck with a lefty on the mound, and Dick and Bert will preview the matchup after this.
All on Fox Sports North is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
The Twins have picked themselves up after their pratfall against Tampa Bay. They're ready to take on the Cleveland Indians. It's the start of a 3-game series with the Indians. And you can see within the division, the Twins have more than held their own. In fact, they've got the best winning percentage among the 5 teams. And we welcome you to Target Field. Man, is it a steamer here tonight. Hot and muggy, good baseball weather. Dick and Bert with you for the opening game with the Cleveland Indians. And the Twins are going to take on a Cleveland team that in the past has been a little susceptible to left-hand starting pitching. And as luck would have it, the Twins have a lefty going tonight.
Well, it'll be Chris Johnson on the mound, a left-hander. But against the Cleveland Indians, where the Twins have had some trouble, what has happened in the Central Division, the Twins have 65 games left, 45 in the Central Division. And you can see where they are as who they play. So this 3-game series against Cleveland, very, very important, and you need good quality pitching. And tonight it will be a lefty where the Indians have struggled against left-handed starters. It'll be Chris Johnson, making just his 3rd start this season for the Twins. They would like for him to establish the fastball early, mix in that good curveball, and hopefully go deep into the ball game.
And the Twins will send on Chris Johnson to the mound, taking on a Cleveland lineup that has struggled against left-handed pitching, I should say. And the Indians, however, as of late have done very well, and that's one of the reasons why they are climbing up in the standings in the American League Central.
Well, you know what? They won 3 of 4 in Detroit, and they are 5.5 games now behind the Tigers. Terry Francona, who had a great second half last year for his ball club, won 92 ball games. They feel they can make another run if they play consistent baseball. They've got some power in their lineup. Hopefully we won't see any of that tonight.
When we last saw the Indians here in Minnesota, they were clinching a playoff spot. They think they're poised to win another one this year. Twins would like to re-emerge as a contending team, but they need to start winning home games starting tonight against the Indians.
Trade deadline, the Twins are trying to determine where they stand in the baseball trade market. There have been signs that they can compete in the AL Central, but there has also been plenty of proof that they are several pieces away from contending. Over the next 9 games, Minnesota will get a good gauge of where it stands in the Central when it begins 13 straight games against the division tonight. And the Twins have played the fewest divisional games of any team in Major League Baseball. The Twins have played just 31 games against American League Central teams. There are teams out there like Pittsburgh that have played 52 games within their division. So that's how sparse competition within the division's been for the Twins. Terry Francona hoping that in his second year the Indians can have the type of second half that they had last year when they pretty much ran the table in September and got a playoff spot. The Menards batting order for the Indians. Jason Kipnis leading off as Drupal Cabrera, Yan Gomes hitting very well in the month of July. Carlos Santana, Ryan Rayburn, Nick Swisher, Roberto Perez, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Mike Aviles.
And on the mound, it'll be left-handed pitcher Chris Johnson making just his third start. His first career start, of course, against the Indians, and his first career start against an American League team. He came over from the Pittsburgh Pirates, had one start, 4 relief appearances there, and then his 2 outings this year against the Dodgers and the Rockies.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Josh Willingham in left. Fleet-footed Danny Santana in center. And Chris Parmalee in right. Trevor Plouffe, Eduardo Escobar, Brian Dozier, Kendrys Morales, the infielders. Kurt Suzuki back behind the plate. Might find out tonight, Bert, whether the Twins really stubbed their toe against the Tampa Bay Rays or they simply were playing against a really good team, playing good baseball.
Yeah, Tampa was hot. They played very well, but you know what? They pitched well, and it's important for Ron Gardenhire's starting staff to pitch well here against the Cleveland Indians in this 3-game series.
Kipnis, Cabrera, and Gomes facing Johnson. And a first pitch strike. Kipnis among several Cleveland players struggling against left-handers. Way out in front.
Big breaking ball there by Johnson. He'll throw that fastball in the low 90s, that big curveball. Also throws a little cutter he'll throw in on right-handers and a changeup.
2 strikes. And Suzuki blocks most of that, 1-2. Against left-handed starters, the Indians are 4 games below 500. Against right-handed starters, they're 6 games above.
Yeah, they're hitting .245 as a ball club against left-handers and .261 against right-handers.
And Kipnis chases, and Johnson starts the night with a strikeout.
Yeah, good high fastball right there, and Johnson picking up a strikeout, his 9th in 8 2/3 innings pitched.
Indians won the first 3 games against the Tigers over the weekend. And then left-hander Drew Smyly pretty much shut them down yesterday at Comerica Park. And Johnson, coincidentally or not, the only left-handed starter the Twins have had this year. This is just his 3rd start. He's the first guy out of the chute in this Cleveland series.
It's important for Johnson to get strike 1. Why? Because the Indians have not faced him before.
Poke foul.
So it's very important to get ahead in the count and then work in your other pitches, but trust your fastball early on. That ball right there had a little tail on it, and the Cabrera fouled it off. We have seen that over the years, Dick, when a guy that comes up making his major league debut or his first start against a ball club attack the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. So far, so good. 6 pitches, 5 strikes.
Johnson, 29 years old, originally Boston Red Sox #1 pick back in 2006. And he's gone through the ups and downs of failure at the minor league level. Was released by Boston, played independent baseball, then signed by the Pirates, and then traded over to the Twins.
Eventually traded over to the Twins as part of the Justin Morneau trade. The Twins got Alex Presley and a player to be named later, and that player originally was a guy by the name of Duke Welker, hard-throwing right-handed reliever. And then the Twins looked at their system and saw very few left-handed starting pitchers just off the plate. And so eventually they traded Welker back to the Pirates and ended up with Johnson instead. So he is the remnant in the Twins organization, with Presley having been claimed on waivers by Houston. He's the remnant the Twins have in the Morneau trade inside, and it's 2-2.
I think he's got a lot of the same mound presence that Scott Diamond has. You know, of course, Scott Diamond in his first year won 12 games for the Twins. His delivery almost the same. Very good control.
Breaking ball, another strikeout. And the night starts wonderfully for Johnson with a pair of strikeouts, 2 down.
Yeah, Johnson down in AAA. He pitched well. Little cutter right here. Little spinner, didn't move much, but Cabrera swung through it for second straight strikeout. Johnson was 8-4 down in AAA Rochester, where he had a 2.75 ERA.
Here's Yan Gomes. Gomes has feasted on left-handed pitching. His numbers really stand out in this Cleveland lineup. Outside, ball one.
Gomes in his second season with the Indians, coming over from the Blue Jay organization, Toronto Blue Jay organization.
On the outside corner. Lifted a foul over the Twins dugout, 1 and 2. The two Johnson starts, one against the Dodgers, one against the Rockies. Unable to complete 5 innings in either.
Yeah, that one against the Dodgers, that was game 2 of that doubleheader that the Twins played here because of that rainout. And he just threw a lot of pitches in 4 1/3 innings, 106 pitches. He did not allow a run.
But he walked 6.
Yeah.
That's a lot of walks in 4 1/3 innings.
He walked around the ones that he thought would hit him.
And then in his next start, gave up 8 hits, but no walks.
Yeah, a couple 2-run home runs. That hurt him. That was in Colorado back on the 11th of September.
The only game the Rockies won in that series. Trying to finish off a really nice, crisp first inning.
Fastball in. Suzuki sitting inside.
Fouled back.
Both these starters here tonight, basically rookies, trying to get their feet on the big mound and feel comfortable. T.J. House making he'll leave his 9th start of the year. Both of them have pitched a lot in the minor leagues.
Came inside and got strike 3. Well, how's that for a first inning? He struck out the side. The winter we had up here, no complaints about the hot summer weather. Gardenhire's ready to go. With his hands on somebody's bat, wishing them good luck. The Menards batting order for the Twins. Danny Santana will lead things off. Then Brian Dozier, Trevor Plouffe, Kendrys Morales, Josh Willingham, Kurt Suzuki, Chris Colabello, Chris Parmalee, and Eduardo Escobar.
And let's take a look at T.J. House. Glenn Anthony House, his dad nicknamed him TJ because he called him Tiger when he was little, and name TJ stuck with him. But making his 9th major league start, his 3rd stint with the Indians this year.
And Santana takes strike one. Santana hoping to have a better day at the plate. Pretty much shut him down yesterday. Retooled some things in his swing with Tom Bernansky. And he lifts one foul into the right field corner. 2 strikes.
I think what we saw was Santana swinging and missing. They want him to put the ball in play and utilize his speed. He can beat out an infield base hit.
Struck out 4 times Saturday, but it was against David Price.
That's okay.
Right away in an 0-2 count. Taken low, 1-2.
Yeah, House is kind of a slinger a little bit. He'll kind of throw 3/4, kind of a sling pitch. Not overpowering. He has to hit his spots, a slider. Pretty good changeup.
Put it in play, but a bouncer right up the line.
Not going to beat that one out.
1 down, and that'll bring up Brian Dozier.
Let's take a look at the Mall of America scouting report on T.J. House. Signed by the Indians back in 2008. Fastball, like I said, not overpowering, slider, changeup. And he was voted the best changeup in the Indians organization.
These days, that's kind of like being named Miss Congeniality, though, isn't it? I mean, scouts, they're interested in velocity now, right?
Well, if you learn how to pitch, you need a good changeup.
Right.
I think the Twins have shown that over the years with Viola and Radke and Santana.
Right.
Guys that have won Cy Young awards that should have. Jim Perry, I know when he won the Cy Young 1970, I learned a lot from just watching him, just change speeds. Hit his spots.
Rolled wide of the bag, 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, Dick. You go to a high school game or a college game, all the scouts, they pull out the gun.
Right.
Well, that's good, but are you pitching or are you just throwing?
Right.
And I think that's what House and really Johnson have learned. House, 141 minor league starts, so a lot of experience in the minor leagues. Now he's trying to have that success here.
Dozier to left, retreating and making the catch is Ryan Rayburn. Went back one way, pivoted, kind of went back the other way. Northland 4 defense for the Indians, and boys, it's been a piece of work this year. In left field, they have Ryan Rayburn. Mike Aviles, the utility player, normally plays the infield. He's in center. And Nick Swisher making his first start in right field tonight. Chisenhall, Cabrera, Kipnis, Santana, they say he's actually done a decent job at first. Perez behind the plate. Had a lot of issues with Swisher at first base. He committed 9 errors and probably should have been charged with a few more. So they had to move him off of first, move Santana over to first. That helped to make a little more room for Lonnie Chisenhall, who's been a pleasant surprise.
Yes, he has.
1-0 to Trevor Plouffe. Dumped foul down the right field line. 1-1. Indians have played 41 games within the American League Central, 10 more than the Twins.
Yeah, the Indians have made 77 errors on the year. That's the most in the American League. Twins have made 47.
Indians, like the Twins, have had injuries to the starting rotation. Justin Masterson on a rehab assignment. Outside, now it's 3-1 to Plouffe with Morales on deck. They found some magic last year in Cleveland. That hit to center and hit pretty well, but Aviles goes back and he makes a reaching running catch at the end. A couple of well hit balls, both of them misjudged by the Cleveland outfielders, but both plays were made, and it's a 1-2-3 first inning.
The top of the second here at Target Field. It was another step in the right direction for Joe Mauer as he continues to work his way back from a strained oblique. In our Sanford Health injury report earlier today, Joe was back on the field taking some ground balls at first, and he was able to do so without any pain. He told me he is feeling better and better every day, but there is still no concrete timetable for his return other than he is going to start taking some swings tomorrow. Nobody is more frustrated with all this than Joe himself, who says you never want to have to miss time, but especially when you start producing at the plate. And guys, he was really swinging the bat well. Hard to see him go down when he was on a 12-game hitting streak. So hope to have another update on how those swings are going tomorrow.
Well, thank you, Jamie. Carlos Santana leading off the Cleveland second. And a pitch off the plate, ball one.
I think one thing, Dick, we have learned over the years, those oblique strains, you know, if you try to come back a little bit too soon and aggravate it again, that puts you back on that table again.
And as is the case with hamstrings, if you re-injure it, then it's even worse than the first injury.
And when I say table, the training room table, somewhere you want to stay away from.
2-0 to Santana. Bouncer to short. And Escobar fires across 1-1. That'll bring up Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn on the team because he's a right-handed power hitter, and his overall average is very poor, and his average against lefties is even worse.
A good defensive player. We saw him make a nice catch out in left field. Of course, most of his career with the Detroit Tigers, in his second season with the Indians.
And Johnson shaves the outside corner. Now 2 strikes. I'm glad you brought up the comparison to Scott Diamond, because from up here, from this distance, he kind of built like Diamond. Similar delivery. Of course, the Twins are hoping that he'll pitch like Diamond did 2 years ago, and not the Scott Diamond of last year or this year. Diamond released from the Twins organization a couple of weeks ago. Down and in, 1-2. You can understand the Twins wanting Johnson rather than Duke Welker. The Twins are pretty well stocked with right-handed relief pitcher types, but there is a weakness in the organization in left-handed starting pitching, at least in the upper levels. That ducks under Bluth's glove, and it's a single to left for Rayburn.
That's a ball right there. You'd like to see Trevor dive for that ball. You know, that ball got by him pretty quick. So a hit for Rayburn.
Twins fans, you can get your tickets now for the July 25th game against the White Sox at Target Field. It's DQ Cap Night. The first 20,000 fans will receive one when they pass through the gates. It's one of the most popular giveaways of the season. DQ Cap Night. Call 833-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. Here's Nick Swisher picking it up a little bit in July. Had a dreadful month of June. Then the Indians moved him into a DH role, and things have picked up considerably for Swisher at the plate.
Yeah, missed some time in late May and early June because of a hyperextension in his left knee. But Swisher's numbers are down. A career .255 hitter with a lot of power from both sides of the plate. Hitting only .209.
Coming up, batting averages. He hit just .122 in June. And already in July, 3 home runs and 15 runs batted in. (2-0). 3-0 with Roberto Perez on deck. Green lighted and a hard grounder foul. 3-1.
Nick Swisher, 33 years old. 239 home runs in his career. Career that started with the Oakland A's back in 2004.
taken low. It's a walk. Now first and second, one down. Twins in the Tampa Bay series in the early innings gave up the first runs of the game. And Rick Anderson would love it if Chris Anderson could pitch out of, or Chris Johnson rather, could pitch out of this and put a few zeros up early in the game.
Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday. When the Twins score first, they're 29-16, and when the opponents score first, the Twins are 15-37. You have to find a way to put some zeros on the board for the starters early so the Twins can get on board and give you a little bit of breathing room.
Catcher Roberto Perez, just 7 at bats, a single, a double, and a home run. Now a chopper to short. That is a tailor-made double play. Thank you very much. Johnson gets out of it. No damage done. Scoreless. Going to the bottom of the second. Getting hit. 10-game hitting streak with Brender Morales hoping to drive in a few runs along the way.
Yeah, and that's what the Twins are looking for, some pop out of that bat. And he's created that as of late on that 10-game hitting streak. Third longest hitting streak in his career. His longest coming in 2009 when he had a 20-game hitting streak. Hopefully he will match that or better it.
I guess the encouraging thing for the Twins is he's hit his stride. Looks like he's feeling very comfortable at the plate from the right side or the left side. He's using the whole field. And when a hitter does that, it's tougher for a pitcher to attack a hole in a swing or really attack a hitter when they're spraying the ball all over the ballpark.
Well, he's up there swinging. He doesn't walk much. Only 6 times in 142 at bats.
1-1.
Morales hitting .250 as a right-handed hitter, .234 as a lefty.
Wide of third. Eric Hosmer scratched tonight in Kansas City. Had a contusion in his wrist area. Mauer's streak is active, even though Mauer is not. Eric Ibar also scratched from the Angels lineup tonight.
I love that ball game last night when Fernando Rodney bow and arrowed their dugout and
in
then
the eighth
inning, and then in the 9th inning it was Pujols and Mike Trout that bowed him back as they beat him.
1-2. And a foul fly.
That's good for baseball. I mean, Rodney didn't do it. He said, he played there and he loves Mike Scioscia and the players, and he just did it out of fun. And well, he said it, and even the players said it kind of woke us up a little bit.
He did it here in the All-Star game in the 8th inning. The difference was he was out of the game after the 8th inning. He didn't have to go back out there in the 9th. Hot ground ball off the glove of Kipnis into short center. Morales.
Whoa.
I don't know what Paul Molitor said to stop him, but you said enough up here. And the hitting streak now extended to 11 games.
Good for him. Ball right back up the middle, pretty much right there down the heart of the plate, and he hits it right back up the middle. Kipnis off his glove, and then in short center field, and whoa, he thought about it. I'll get back there.
Here's the guy the Twins would love to get hot. Josh Willingham has had a tough time of it again this year. Down and in ball one. Of course, 2 years ago, Willingham hit 35 home runs. Last year, beset by some knee problems.
Well, he picked up a couple RBIs in yesterday's loss to the Rays.
Taken for a strike, 1-1.
It was the Cleveland Indians' Justin Masterson that put Willingham on a disabled list back in the early April when he got hit by a pitch.
Inside corner, 1-2.
Masterson on a disabled list currently, rehabbing down in the minor leagues.
And that gives guys like House an opportunity. 1-2. Twins trying to do something with Morales' leadoff single. Two and two. Twins have won 3, lost 4 against the Indians, but all 7 games were played in Cleveland. Again this year, the Indians making 3 trips to Minnesota, of course, all 3 after the All-Star break, 1 in July, 1 in August, 1 in September. And that's drilled to right field, a base hit.
You know what? That's good to see. Willingham's RBI single in his first at bat yesterday, because of the shift of the Rays, he hit it toward right field. So always good to see a hitter, even though he's got power. Right here, 2-2 pitch, ball inside, and he just kind of slashes it the other way.
2 aboard for Suzuki. In the bottom third, Colabello, Parmelee, and Escobar. And a belt high strike.
Suzuki still 10th in the American League in hitting at .305.
Twins did not do a good job at all in the Tampa Bay series with the few scoring opportunities they had. Drilled to right center field. Morales will turn and score. Behind him is Willingham. The ball goes to the wall, and Suzuki will have a 2-run double. Terrible throw from Kipnis in right field. And the Twins start the second inning with 3 base hits.
Yeah, the Twins were just 2 for 23 in that Tampa Bay series with runners in scoring position. And right here, Suzuki got a fastball up and lined it the other way, went all the way to the wall. Of course, Morales is going to score on this extra base hit, but Willingham kicking it in. As Scotty Alger sends him in from third base, and the Twins take a 2-0 lead. RBIs number 39 and 40 for Suzuki on his 19th double.
And now Chris Colabello. Colabello, the designated hitter. That's deep to the right field corner. Fair ball, a 2-run home run for Colabello. First baseman Carlos Santana, Nick Swisher, the right fielder, both pointing into foul territory. This one will be reviewed.
Yeah, Terry Francona arms the way out to talk to DJ Rayburn, the first base umpire.
We saw Colabello earlier this year hit one down the right field line for a home run right where the camera was, and then the next day almost hit another spot, or hit another one in the same spot, and that one will be reviewed.
Yep. I think that's foul.
The only chance would be if it hit the foul pole.
Right.
But immediately after Rayburn pointed fair, Swisher and Santana pointed foul. Brian O'Nora, third base umpire and crew chief.
We did not see the ball disappear behind the pole.
There's no sign of a deflection off the pole. Of course, if it hits the foul pole in fair territory, it's a fair ball. House was pleading his case. And this is an umpire's review, not an Indians challenge. Foul ball. And so Colabello will come back to home plate.
He's just going to have to do it again and keep it fair.
So justice prevailed. That's the way this is supposed to work. That particular replay was in place a year ago. Umpires were able to review home run calls. And no one more relieved than DJ Rayburn. He made a wrong call. It was corrected. No damage done. You've dealt with the human element in the game. You've corrected the mistake, and we move on. One strike to Colabello. And now two strikes.
A good change up there. After a fastball that Colabello almost hit fair for a home run. House has allowed 7 home runs in his first 8 major league starts.
Colabello can get done here with 2 strikes, hoping to at least move Suzuki up a base. Looking ball in the dirt. There needs to be a throw, and Suzuki looked back to second by Perez, and Colabello strikes out. And that'll bring up Parmalee.
First strikeout for House.
Not only has he been a .300 hitter for the Twins, he's been their most consistent hitter. I mean, he hasn't had a poor month at all. And he's now 40 with 40 runs batted in third place on the team. Parmalee has hit his best against left-handed pitching.
Parmalee hitting .341 against left-handers so far this year.
More than 100 points lower his batting average against right-handers. Strike 2.
I think the reason why is we see Chris now against lefties trying to shoot that ball back up the middle and the other way. Like that.
Suzuki thought about advancing. Cabrera picks it up and fires 2 away. Well,
so I mean, that was a pretty nasty pitch by House. And you know what? The Twins have struck out so much. That's still a good at bat. You made contact. You put the ball in play. And with the defense that the Indians have had, you don't know. Just put the ball in play. Terry Francona kind of took a couple steps out. I don't know if Cabrera maybe bothered a little bit, grabbing his left hip area.
Well, that's the last thing the Indians need. Something obviously drew the attention of Terry Francona for a while. He's grimacing. Just talking about Joe Mauer's oblique issue, and it looks to be something in Cabrera's core. This to left, right at Rayburn. The inning starts with 3 hits. Suzuki's 2-run double, putting the Twins in front, and for the first time since the All-Star break, it's the Twins scoring first. link to what's next. By Northland Ford. Visit northlandford.com and your local Northland Ford dealers today. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. Kurt Suzuki's two-run double, giving the Twins their first lead since the All-Star break. And now Lonnie Chisenhall will lead off the third against Chris Johnson. Chisenhall, Aviles, and Kipnis. And if somebody reaches, then Asdrubal Cabrera's spot would come up. Whether he'll hit or not remains to be seen.
Let's see what Cabrera does right here. Has to go to his right, then the long throw. Felt something pull.
Could see a grimace before he delivered the throw. So something is an issue with Cabrera. 2 strikes to Chisenhall. Up the middle and through, and that's what the Indians have seen from Chisenhall, who was a puzzle for them. They liked his swing. They didn't see any results, and this year things have clicked, particularly against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, he came into that at bat hitting .339 against left-handers, almost what Chris Parmelee has done. Wow, that ball right there, but he took it right back up the middle. Chisenhall hitting .323 against right-handers. So here's a guy that last year he was up and down, hit only .225, and went back and did something right. I asked Rick Manning, the analyst for the Indians, what's his secret? What did he do? And they think it was part of maturity, but just getting some at-bats.
See, the main thing he's done is he just decided to relax. If you look real closely, you can see Cabrera's name in the lineup, batting second behind Kipnis. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Johnson able to get his first major league double play turn behind him last inning. Aviles has always been a good hitter, hitting 9th for the Indians.
Johnson pitched out of a first and second 1-out situation in the second inning. 3 of the last 4 batters have reached against him. Breaking ball. 1 and only 1. But the right one, the lead runner, 1 down.
Well, it's good to see Johnson getting some ground balls in situations like this too. That ball was down in the strike zone. Aviles hits it softly to Escobar. Make sure you get one. Exactly what Escobar did. And in Dozier's relay throw, Aviles beat it out.
And now Cabrera will be subbed by Dickerson. You can see also just a 3-man bench at the beginning of the game for Terry Francona. And he's got to make a move in the 3rd inning with his shortstop. Runner goes. And safe at second. Stolen base for Aviles.
Aviles with his 9th stolen base attempt. 9th stolen base in 12 attempts. Good jump right there off of Johnson. Suzuki's good throw, but Aviles just beat it out.
Runner at second, 1 down. Kipnis struck out his first time up. Lifted foul on a play, 1-1. Dickerson, Chris Dickerson will hit in Cabrera's spot. On the ground, Dozier to a knee, comes up with a fine play. That was a hot ground ball intercepted by Dozier for out number 2.
We have seen Brian Dozier do this so many times. He does a great job of getting to the ball, but then the little slide pop up. Nice play by Dozier.
On the play, Aviles goes to third. And Cabrera lifted now because of an injury of some sort. And Dickerson taking over in the third inning.
Yeah, Dickerson just getting traded over to the Indians from the Pirates on July 7th.
First at bat this year against a lefty. And he takes inside ball 1. Dickerson a couple of home runs, both of them in one game the other night against the Tigers. Drilled to right. He puts the Indians on the board. Coming in to score Aviles, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, Dickerson got a high fastball right there. Picked up an RBI for Dickerson, his 4th RBI as an Indian.
Dickerson hit 2 home runs against Max Scherzer in Detroit, up and out of the strike zone. But an RBI single, and that brings up Yan Gomes. Outside ball 1, Suzuki runs the ball back to the mound.
Well, this is where a catcher becomes like a pitching coach, an assistant pitching coach, trying to get him back down in the zone. Don't try to overthrow.
The Indians getting some good looks and good swings against Johnson. Singles and a walk in the last 7 at bats. Down and away, 2-0. Indians like to feel that they made a statement in Detroit, winning the first 3 games against the Tigers, the team that is leading everybody in the division. And then a left-hander shut them down Sunday.
Yeah, Gomes right on that high fastball. Just fouled it straight back.
Johnson got him to strike out on a pitch on the inside. Maybe even in off the plate. Put away, 3-1. Switch hitter Carlos Santana on deck. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch.
Good change up there.
Full count, 2 down, and Dickerson will take off from first.
Fastball situation. Johnson pulled the string.
Twins will leave Morales in the first base bag vicinity. Foul back. Johnson his 3rd start and the 3rd left-handed start by a Twin this year. All the other starts have been made by right-handers. Another 3-2. Another foul ball. Great opportunity for Johnson here, because as you look forward to next year, fans like to do that. You know, the top two pitching prospects, maybe even beyond the top two, they're both right-handed. Trevor May and Alex Meyer.
Another change-up here.
In the dirt. That's ball 4, and now Dickerson advances into scoring position.
Second walk for Johnson in the ball game.
And Santana will come up with 2 men aboard. RBI Baseball is back. Get the retro baseball game you've been missing with simple, fun, and classic 2-button style controls. Play 9-inning games in less than 20 minutes with all 30 MLB teams and 2014 MLB players. Download RBI Baseball 14 today on Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and 4, as well as the Apple App Store and Google Play. 5 batters have faced Johnson so far this inning. 3 have reached. And his 2-0 lead has already been cut in half.
20th pitch of the inning for Johnson.
And he's falling behind batters now with that first pitch. 1-0. Fly ball center field. Santana circles around it and ends the inning. Indians get 1 but leave 2. It's 2-1. Said that yet?
No, we have not. Kurt Suzuki, thanks to Kurt Suzuki, 2-run double in the second inning. Twins took an early 2-0 lead. But with 2 outs, Dickerson, who pinched hit for Asdrubal Cabrera, got an RBI single, scored Aviles to make it a 2-1 ball game.
Johnson survived another bigger inning by giving up just the 1 run. Here's Danny Santana threatening a push bunt, taking strike 1. Santana hit a slow ground ball to Carlos Santana to get his night started. Mike Aviles is in at short for Cabrera. And Dickerson is in center field. That's to the right field corner. Trouble if it's fair. It's fair, and this guy can fly. He'll hold up with a double. Santana with a leadoff double here in the 3rd.
Well, pitch out over the plate. Santana just hits it the other way. His 11th double. Good way to start here, the bottom of the 3rd inning. Try to get that run back and maybe add to their 2-1 lead.
We'll bring up Dozier, who hit a liner to left. Rayburn reached up and pulled it down on the near the edge of the warning track. He takes an off-speed pitch at the knees.
Dozier's job here, get Santana over to third base.
Behind Santana, and House steps off.
He did the right thing. House did the right thing. Aviles tried to sneak behind him. When you see your shortstop go towards second base, step off if you don't make a throw. And that's not a bad move either, to show at least Santana you have that spin around move. Santana 6 stolen bases in 7 attempts.
And Dozier lifts a foul, 2 strikes. You can imagine the Twins bench thinking, look, the only way Santana should try to steal third is if they ignore him, and they've already showed him that they're not doing that.
Yeah. And you know what? That last swing by Dozier, you could almost see him inside out it to try to go the other way. Now with 2 strikes, it's not as easy to do. Now you have to kind of hit for yourself.
In this situation, last inning, Colabello struck out with Suzuki at second. Took a breaking ball down and in.
It's one thing I saw the Rays do so well in that 3-game series, advanced runners. You know, a couple times in that 3-game series, you know, it was Jennings that bunted the runners over into scoring position.
1-2.
Escobar bunted, their shortstop.
Dapper to short, no place for Santana to go. Aviles throws out Dozier, 1 away. So put on the ground, but put on the ground in front of the runner.
An unproductive out.
And now Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe had a liner to center that fooled Aviles for a while. He went back and was able to pull it down.
See, and those are the little things. The Twins want to get back into this race. They have to find a way to move that man over.
Twins 9 games below 500 need to get there first, and then find the wherewithal, if they can do that, to get over the 500 mark.
You get back 500 by playing good fundamental
That
baseball.
one hit to left center field and deep, and that ball's going to get all the way to the wall. It'll be another double. Trevor Plouffe with an RBI double with Santana scoring, and now Plouffe's going to try for third on the misplay. Out at third. There might be a challenge. Nice recovery by, I believe it was Aviles. Might have been Kipnis. Somebody picked up the loose ball in left field and threw to third.
Well, Trevor Plouffe will be credited with an RBI double, his 29th double of the year. Fastball middle in. Trevor opened up, found that gap out in left center. Ball rolling all the way to the wall. Dickerson, the center fielder, picks it up, gets the ball back in. Short hops. Yeah, Aviles. And then Kipnis' throw right there on the mark.
Yeah. Fastball up and away to Morales, who will hit with the bases empty.
Head first slide. And you can see Chisenhall tagging the left arm of Plouffe before he could get to the bag.
Last 3 hits have been doubles for the Twins. 1-1 to Morales. Started the 2-run second with a single to right. Morales single to right. Willingham single to right. Suzuki, another right-handed batter, double to right. Santana hitting right-handed, hit it into the right field corner. Plouffe, the closest thing to a pulled hit among the 5 hits so far, and that was hit to the left center. 3-1. Willingham on deck. That's a fair ball, backhanded by Chisenhall, and a good play. Strong throw across the diamond. The Twins get a couple of doubles, and the run back the Indians got in the top of the inning. Our Carsoup.com trivia question: who are the two active managers to win multiple World Series titles? Well, this is a layup. I mean, right? I mean, this is easy.
Got to give the viewers a chance.
Ryan Rayburn, Nick Swisher, Roberto Perez. Strike one. Rayburn singled in the second. The first hit, shooting a hot ground ball under the glove of Trevor Plouffe. 1-1. Biggest thing Johnson was guilty of in the third inning is not throwing strike one. He has done that now to Rayburn.
They faced 6 batters in that third inning, only able to get ahead on 1 of the 6.
53 pitches, 32 strikes.
And total 6 first pitch strikes are the 14 batters he's faced so far.
Foul back, 2-2. Swisher on deck. Breaking ball. Left it upstairs. Got a swinging strikeout. His 4th strikeout. All swinging tonight.
And his first since he struck out the side in the first inning. So Rayburn kind of went after a high pitch right here and just swung and missed.
It's kind of the same pitch that Cabrera went after and striking out in the first inning, I think. Here is Swisher. A lot of concern in Cleveland when Swisher got off to a poor start and it got worse instead of better. They're into him for another 2.5 years. And the batting average barely over 200. The guys that really helped make the Indians go last year, well, there were 3 of them. Giambi in a limited role. He didn't hit for much, but he got some dramatic hits, and he's been hurt. And Swisher and Santana are both hitting around the Mendoza line. Strike 2.
Well, Swisher over his career, this is his 11th season at the major league level. He's always been a 250, 260 type hitter, but he's got power from both sides of the plate. As I mentioned, 239 home runs.
Chopper to third. Plouffe can play the second hop. Swisher running way into fair territory. And a terrible throw by Plouffe. I've never seen a batter run that far onto the grass. He'll reach on an error with 1 out on the 4th.
Yeah, Trevor had plenty of time to make a good throw. The throw on the infield side just pulled Morales off the bag. Swisher not the quickest down that line, and Trevor kind of overshoots Morales. He has to leave the bag to just get that ball in his glove. For Trevor Plouffe, his 8th error of the year at third.
Swisher is about 5 feet out of the grass running to first. Here's Roberto Perez. Fastball off the plate.
Yeah, Perez just 25 years old from Puerto Rico in his rookie season. In his 3rd major league game, hit well down in AAA Columbus for the Indians. 305 in 53 ball games.
One and 0 to Perez. Get into a double play his first time up. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Good change up there by Johnson. Nine minor league seasons for Chris Johnson. With the Red Sox, the Pirates, the Twins, also pitched an independent ball.
Another throw to first.
Well, he's pitched over 1,000 innings in the minor leagues, so he's waited a long time for this opportunity. Got a little bit of taste of the big leagues last year with the Pirates.
169 major league starts, or minor league starts, I should say. 1-1. Not close. 2-1. And time called at the plate. Need some glove repair there. Dave Prumer. Probably don't let him stitch wounds like that, but he's pretty good at fixing a glove. You don't have to have rubber gloves on to re-stitch a glove, do you?
No, I used to stitch my own glove.
Did you really?
I used to get a glove from Rawlings, and Jim Hughes would always give me a glove. And what I would do is I'd take the padding out, especially on the heel of the glove.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
Because if I was not pitching the ball very well, I would want to catch it right there to where it was basically no other than just the just a little bit of leather.
To the right field corner. Foul. Perez made a bid for an RBI extra base hit.
Yeah, we have to watch DJ Rayburn on that because of our angle here. Ball did not miss by much. Wow.
About 8 inches. Yeah, foot.
Very close.
2-2. Perez in a great spot. The Indians had George Kataris as a backup early in the season when the Twins were playing the Indians in Cleveland. Kataris now with the Cardinals. Swinging a foul.
Yadier Molina injured.
I'd be interested if the Cardinals stick with what they have behind the plate or whether they're active in trying to get a catcher. In the middle of the race in the National League Central, tied with the Brewers. 2-2. Nubbed up the line. For that matter, they may have already called Terry Ryan about Kurt Suzuki.
Well, you know what? All the National League, all three divisions are very close.
There's a tie on top of all three divisions. In the East, Washington and Atlanta. In the Central, Milwaukee, St. Louis. And in the West, San Francisco, Los Angeles. The difference is in the Central, there's not a big gap at all between second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Cincinnati only 2.5 games back behind the Brewers and the Cardinals. In fourth place.
Still 2-2 to Perez. And now 3-2. Johnson not the quickest worker. Perez not helping. He's stepping out of the batter's box on every pitch. Chisenhall on deck.
Let's see if they send Swisher here. He has not attempted a stolen base yet this year.
Stays put with Johnson throwing over. He's had so many knee issues. Last year, both knees were giving Swisher some problems.
Right. This is where the umpire can speed it up, too. The home plate umpire, Jim Wolf.
Well,
get him in the box. Let's go.
Perez takes his time and then holds his right arm out, asking for time until he's ready. Full count. Swisher stays put. The pitch hit to right center field. Santana circling back and making the catch out number 2. Long at that. Longer than it should have been. 2 down. And that'll bring up Chisenhall. Chisenhall singled in the 3rd inning. Hit a hot shot right up the middle. People who cover the Indians say with Chisenhall it's a matter of he just didn't put so much pressure on himself this year. He's just going to play the game, try to have fun, and relax. And it finally clicked for him. Takes a first pitch strike.
You know, the difference is with Chisenhall, who's been up and down the last 3 years with the Indians, is he was their #1 pick. So the Indians have some money invested in him. You know, so they're going to give him that little extra time to hopefully develop. And now he has.
The thought was in spring training that Carlos Santana was going to be at 3rd. There wouldn't be room to play Chisenhall regularly, and that he might very well start at AAA again this year. But then Terry Francona thought they could get him enough at bats at 3rd base as a DH. 1-1. And then Chisenhall just took it from there. And the way he's been swinging the bat, there's playing time is the least of his concerns. One and two.
This will be pitch number 70 for Johnson.
Morales scoops up a ground ball to end the inning. It's 3-1 Twins. Stay tuned for this important message from Mesh Besher and Spence. You now can tweet your photo using hashtag NorthFanPhoto, and a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Maybe we'll get that one tweeted to us. Brought to you by AT&T. Josh Willingham will lead off the 4th for the Twins, up 3-1 against TJ House. Willingham, Suzuki, and Colabello with Fox Tracks presented by Chrysler. Ball 1. Willingham lined a single to right, then later scored on Suzuki's double. Feeling a little pressure tonight. Can you tell that I'm just feeling a little extra pressure?
From?
Well, it's Lutheran night. And I'm Lutheran, so I feel like I got to do a good job tonight.
Well, you usually do a good job.
Well, thank you, but they're just feel like
pressure's nothing more than you put
I know,
on
and
yourself.
I'm putting a lot of it on myself.
Yeah, you gotta relax.
Like Chisenhall.
Yeah, do what Chisenhall has done.
Just relax and let it be, right? Hey, he's relaxed. For all I know, he may be Lutheran, but he hasn't put any undue pressure on himself. Up the line foul.
Yeah, the report coming out of the clubhouse of the Indians with Cabrera, lower back spasms.
Okay. That's hardly what Terry Francona needs to hear or have to do to deal with an injury. He's got a short bench to begin with 13 pitchers. Inside to Willingham, 3-2. House hasn't walked anyone. He's given up 5 hits and 3 doubles among the 5 hits. Fouled back. Those are the ones that drive Josh crazy, because that was his pitch. And instead of creaming it, he fouled it back to the screen.
Well, it was an 81-mile-an-hour pitch, too. It wasn't, like House isn't a guy that's going to challenge you. He just took something off that pitch. But a good swing by Willingham. If he can square this one up.
Inside, he'll take a walk to lead off the 4th.
And the first walk by House.
And that'll bring up Suzuki. Suzuki drove a 2-run double to the wall in right center field his first time up. I think the average got down into the high 290s for about 2 or 3 games 3 weeks ago or so. And Suzuki had a couple of 2-hit games, got it back over 300. It's a big thing when you're making an all-star team for the first time, and a lot of people around the world are watching and well, yeah, I've heard of this guy, but why is he on the all-star team? Then they put your average up and it begins with a 3.
That's nice.
Case solved right there. 1-1.
Well, he has been a huge asset to the Twins this year. With Mauer going to first, they needed somebody behind the plate, and Kurt Suzuki has been everything the Twins have wanted back there and needed.
Now, I guess when you're dealing with positioning and you want to have a 4th outfielder, an extra infielder, and all that, it's better that the backup plan or plans for the backup player don't work out as well. You want your front line guys to work out well. It didn't work out so well for Josmil Pinto, who was supposed to be the backup catcher. Now 3-1 to Suzuki. But it certainly has worked out well for Suzuki as the #1 catcher. House has just walked Willingham, and now he's fallen behind Suzuki, 3-1. A fastball by him, 3-2.
Paul Molitor talking to Willingham at first base. If they send him here.
The toughest guys in the league to strike out, Suzuki. Willingham goes. Here's one hit to the left center field gap. Willingham was off with the pitch. He'll gain third base. And Suzuki trying for second. Out at second base. The Twins made it out at third base last inning. And now Suzuki out trying to stretch a single into a double.
Yeah, good job by Chris Dickerson cutting that ball off out in left center. And then one hopping Kipnis at second base. So on a 3-2 pitch, Willingham takes off. Suzuki hits it into left center. Dickerson trying to do a little deke right there, but got that big hop, spun around, and made a nice throw to second base where Kipnis and Suzuki kind of went on the outfield side. I think he saw that he was going to be out, so he tried to go a little bit on the outfield side, but still was tagged out.
Infield in now for Colabello.
That'll be a base hit for Suzuki, and then he gets thrown out 8-4.
Infield in. Colabello with a runner at second, and nobody out, struck out against House after having a home run challenge succeed in taking a 2-run home run away from him. It was an umpire's challenge on a ball that was wide right of the right field foul pole. And again, for the second at bat in a row, Colabello just needs to focus on putting the ball in play here.
I've got a good at bat. I got a call right here. Colabello's going to have a very good at bat right here. He's going to drive in Willingham. He's going to stay off that pitch right there.
It's the one that struck him out, wasn't it? Breaking pitch in the dirt.
House went with the fastball and Colabello hit it foul, and then 2 straight changeups that struck him out in his last at bat. Chris has got to make sure he gets that ball up and then drive it hard somewhere.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
A breaking ball.
In Colabello's second inning at bat, Suzuki had just delivered a 2-run double with nobody out, but Colabello didn't advance him, and the Twins never did get Suzuki home. Now there's an RBI out there if Colabello can put it in play. 2-2.
I'd be surprised if House challenges him here with a fastball. Change up, breaking ball. CC Lee starting to warm up in the Indians bullpen.
Grounded foul near the Twins dugout.
With a breaking ball. And Perez going to go talk to his left-hander. Kind of a whoops. Excuse me, swing.
That ball about 18 inches in front of the catcher's mitt. Want to make contact with the ball out in front, on the front edge of the plate, right? Not the back edge.
You'd like to. That's what I heard.
2-2. Colabello trying to pick up RBI number 37 here.
Wait back, wait back.
3-2. Parmalee on deck.
Another changeup that missed. Now what House could do is he could throw that fastball inside. After all the off-speed pitches. That's going to be another changeup.
And a foul tip. The bat's still alive. Looked like he hung the changeup, and Colabello missed it.
I only say that because sometimes you get a hitter and you throw him all those off-speed pitches. You could sneak that fastball by him, but you have to make sure that you get it inside.
Another 3-2 coming to Colabello.
This being a breaking ball.
Got him down and in, out of the strike zone. He swung at ball 4.
Well, both strikeouts for House. Chris Colabello.
Here we go. Come on.
Now the Twins need a pick-me-up from Parmalee. Great chance to add another run here in the 4th.
Yeah, not a good swing right there. Not a good at-bat.
Parmalee fell behind 2 strikes, put the ball hard on the ground to short. Cabrera made the play, then left the game. Pitch is up. Ball 1. Breaking ball gets a swing and a miss. Suzuki made the first out at second base after his second hit of the night. Outside, 2-1.
I guarantee you Suzuki's still upset about that slide going into second base.
3-1. In describing Chisenhall's situation, it reminded me a lot of Parmalee. Parmalee had to go through the indignity of being taken off the 40-man roster, and it's then that he relaxed. And to the extent he's contributed this year, it's been because he figured he had nothing else to lose. Takes a walk here, and Escobar will come up with runners at first and third.
Second walk of the inning for House.
Join the Minnesota Lynx for the Dads and Daughters ticket offer presented by Fox Sports North Tuesday, August 12th against the Los Angeles Sparks. For just $33, you get 2 tickets to the game, a drawstring backpack. For details, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on the More tab for details. Twins had a good road trip in Seattle and Colorado because they got a lot of 2-out hits that drove in runs. They didn't do that against the Rays. They need one here from Escobar. Strike one. He hit the first pitch he saw to left field in the second inning. Little dribbler to Chisenhall. An easy play to wrap up the inning. 2 walks and a single, but the Twins don't score. Still lead 3-1.
Now is a great time to become a part of the home ice advantage for the Minnesota Wild. You can get an up-close look at Wild players on Becoming Wild, presented by Toyota. The latest edition includes Jonas Brodin as the crew followed him around his home in Sweden. Tune in to Fox Sports North this September for Season 4 of Becoming Wild, which takes you behind the scenes with Wild players so you can get to know them off the ice as well as you know them on the ice. Stay tuned for dates and times, guys. It's a great series. Fun to get to know those players.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jamie. This, the most important inning of Chris Johnson's career. He's got a 3-1 lead. He needs to complete 5 innings to qualify for his first major league win, and he would like to make quick work of it. Ball 1. He'll face Aviles, Kipnis, and Dickerson. Aviles hit a chopper to Escobar, reached on a fielder's choice, and scored. Here's a strike, 1-1. Starting the inning with 70 pitches.
Yeah, a couple walks, 4 strikeouts.
To center. And Santana has it measured, 1 down. Jason Kipnis, one of the reasons the Indians did so well in Detroit. For that, he was named the American League Player of the Week.
Yeah, won a week right there. Knocked in 6 runs, scored 3, 5 for 15.
I didn't know he could hit against another team. I thought he did all his hitting against the Twins. Last year had an incredible year against Minnesota. Ball one. 0 for 2 today. Made a bid for a hit his last time up. Brian Dozier denied him.
Career 305 hitter coming into this year against Twins pitching.
Inside. Indians have some defensive issues. Kipnis not responsible for too many of them. He's just made 3 errors this year. A converted outfielder from college days. Down low. 3-0. So the first out came easy, but now the third time through the order, and he starts Kipnis with a 3-0 count. Hopped up. Short center. And Santana with the catch. So green lighted on 3-0. Kipnis is out number 2.
And we saw Nick Swisher green lighted last inning on 3-0. But 2 outs.
Carsoup.com trivia question again is a layup. Terry Francona, Bruce Bochy, I believe, or the other is the other one.
Ding, 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 ding.
Difference is Bochy's still with the team he won 2 World Series with, and Francona moved on from Boston to Cleveland.
Not taking anything away from Terry Francona because he did a great job with the Indians last year. But I know he's American League Manager of the Year. Johnny Farrell, what a job he did with the Boston Red Sox.
Inheriting a mess from Bobby Valentine the year before. 2 strikes to Dickerson, who singled. Drove in a run in the 3rd. He got a high fastball and whacked it into right field. Whoa! Johnson locked up Dickerson. And Suzuki held it, but somehow didn't get the call. Cut the plate in half. Fouled away.
Well, Dickerson was with the Pirates, but he was down in AAA before he got traded to the Indians. He was hitting the ball well. 309 in 65 ball games in AAA for the Pirates.
Checked his swing. An appeal, no. 2-2.
Brian O'Nora, the crew chief at third base, said he did not go.
And now a full count with Gomes on deck. Johnson fooled Dickerson and came close to having a 1-2-3 fifth, but now he's in danger of walking Dickerson and facing Gomes. And there's a walk. Jim Wolf, the home plate umpire, missing a call. Now the inning continues.
A third walk for Johnson.
Twin season ticket holders enjoy 10% off concessions and merchandise here at Target Field. 2014 season tickets remain available. Call 800-33-TWINS. Visit twinsbaseball.com. Find out how you can join in late July the season ticket family. Now Yan Gomes, who has not put a ball in play against Johnson, struck out in the 1st and walked in the 3rd. Dickerson didn't steal second base in the 3rd. He was walked there when Gomes drew his 2-out walk. Pulled foul, 1 strike. One strike. Cleveland's designated hitter.
Good breaking ball there.
2 strikes.
Johnson making his third major league start for the Twins. Made one last year for the Pirates.
Breaking ball hammered to the corner. A fair ball. Dickerson rounding second on his way to third. They'll wave him around. And it's an RBI double for Gomes. And instead of striking out Dickerson, he walked him and now has given up a run.
On an 0-2 pitch yesterday, we saw Evan Longoria get 2 doubles on an 0-2 pitch. And right here, a breaking ball that stayed up right into the swing of Gomes, and he lined it into that left field corner.
Well, you've just thrown such a good curve, one in the dirt.
Yep.
And then you come back with the same pitch in a poorer spot. Now it's a 1-run game, and the tying runs at second. 2-out walk looming large. And now Santana, who's bounced to short and hit a fly ball to center. Up and away.
It's been 10 days between starts with the All-Star break for Chris Johnson.
Base hit right field. Charging is Parmalee. Rounding third, being held there by the third base coach, and Gomes is stuck at third, but the inning will continue with 2 men on. And Parmalee doing a good job there, charging the base hit.
Yes, that's what made that, hold Gomes up at third base. He's not the quickest runner anyway, but Santana hitting this ball sharply. Parmalee charges the ball, sets, and gets that ball back in quickly.
Mike Sarabaugh, the third base coach for the Indians. That's the way that's supposed to work. Waving the runner to the bag and then putting up the stop sign once you see that the outfielder charged it, got rid of it in good shape. So after the walk to Dickerson, 2 well-struck hits, and now Rayburn will hit with the tying run at third. Dickerson's had quite an impact in the game in relief of Cabrera. An RBI single, a walk and a run scored, and a nice play and throw in center field, throwing out Suzuki. On the outside corner, strike 1.
It's like Caleb Theobar starting to loosen up in the Twins bullpen.
High fly to right.
I love those sacrifice flies with 2 outs.
And Johnson completes 5, and he comes off the mound with a 3-2 lead. fans of the game joining the fun, trying to fan themselves and stay cool. Steamy night here at the ballpark. Danny Santana doubled and scored his last time up. He takes ball one from T.J. House.
Well, Twins were able to get that run back in the third inning that the Indians scored. Made it a 3-1 ball game.
Weak pop-up hit towards short. Aviles. The outfield grass, one down. And that'll bring up Dozier. Roberto Perez talking with Dozier like they're old-time buddies. Dozier 0 for 2, a liner to left in the first and a bouncer to short in the third. One strike. Another weak pop-up. This one to the right side. Kipnis has it. 2 down. That'll bring up Plouffe. Trevor's hit the ball hard twice in the ball game, lining out to then center fielder Mike Aviles in the first inning. Aviles might have misjudged the ball momentarily, but he made a nice recovery. And then Plouffe drove in a run with a double to left center field in the third. Plouffe tried to reach third on a mishandled relay and then was thrown out. Ball one. Ooh, strike call. Like Perez brought the glove in over the outside corner after catching that pitch, framing it. 2-1. Thielbar continuing to warm up. Stand to reason the Twins, who have 3 left-handed relievers, would use their lefty side of the bullpen a lot in this series. Bold foul.
Well, both these sides have great bullpens. The Indians and the Twins.
Johnson done for the night, it appears.
Yeah, Johnson with 91 pitches, 57 strikes.
And now 3-2 with Morales on deck. Couple of walks in the fourth inning for House. Another one bounced foul.
Yeah, House, who likes to work quick, reminds me a little bit of Joe Saunders, left-hander.
Okay.
Yeah, not overpowering, has to hit his spots, changes speeds well.
It's almost a sidearm delivery. Twins had a relief pitcher a long time ago, early 90s, Gary Wayne. Gary Wayne kind of threw that way.
Kind of a slinger.
Yeah. Full count again to Trevor Plouffe. Not close, and it's a 2-out walk, and the Twins will try to do with their gift what the Indians did with theirs.
Yeah, third walk for House in a ball game, 2 of them coming last inning. Mickey Callaway on the phone, the pitching coach for Terry Francona.
Morales, single and a run scored in the second, and he bounced out to third to end the third inning. Morales takes a strike. Twins with 65 games left to play, counting tonight. 44 wins.
And we showed you earlier 45 of the 65 against the Central Division.
And with 65 games left, if you try to figure these things out, let's say the Twins went 40-25, which would be unlikely at this point. They've not played good baseball for that long of a stretch, but that's kind of what Cleveland did last year. Tapper to short, and Aviles fires across to end the inning. On to the 6th. Caleb Thielbar will try to protect a 1-run lead.
I'm Jamie Hirsch inside the Minnesota Lottery Winners Circle with a birthday boy, 90 years young, Jack Lauer, all the way from Brandon, South Dakota. And you're also celebrating with a 5-month-old member of your family, right?
That's right, yes. We all came down together this afternoon, and we think this is a great place to watch a baseball game.
It absolutely is. It's a little hot out here, but you guys are staying cool and enjoying yourselves. We're also going to give you $100 worth of scratch-offs. Here's the baby. We'll get him in there. Little great-grandson over here. To the great-grandpa, we're going to give you $100 worth of scratch-offs courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery. So
That'd be great.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe someday you'll see a piece of the winnings.
That's right.
Dickenberg, back to you.
All right, thank you. Brandon, South Dakota, down around Sioux Falls.
Happy birthday, young man. Well, Caleb Thielbar coming out of the bullpen. It's been a while for Caleb to be on the big mound. He last worked on July 9th in Seattle when he worked 1 inning in the Twins' 8-1 win, making his 35th relief appearance. Good numbers for Caleb.
Facing Swisher, Perez, and Chisenhall. Switch hitter, right-handed batter, and a lefty. Outside, ball 1. An 88-mile-per-hour fastball. Swing and a miss.
Caleb Thielbar 2-0 out of the bullpen for the Twins. 1 win coming early April in Chicago, and then his second win in that 1-0 10-inning win in Cleveland.
Drop that curveball over the outside corner, and Swisher will go for a stroll. I don't see Caleb throw that super slow curve very often. Got the outside corner for strike 2. Weekly rolled to short. 1 down.
They came back with a harder breaking ball and kind of jammed Swisher.
Catch every strikeout, every game ender, and every history-making moment on MLB Whip Around. Weeknights at 9 Central. Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. One down in the 6th, and now Roberto Perez. Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 14-1. Who were batting for what seemed like 45 minutes in the 5th inning. To his left, Escobar cuts it off. 2 down.
2 quick outs.
And if Thielbar can get a quick 3rd out, that might change things for the Twins, and they may allow them to come back to Thielbar for a 2nd inning of work. As you said, he should be rested. Hasn't pitched since Seattle. Red Sox, in thumping the Blue Jays, now find themselves just 3.5 games behind Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto was kind of taking a dive.
Missing the inside corner with a medium speed breaking ball.
I think Encarnacion is still on a disabled
list. Yes, he is.
He missed his bat.
Just off the outside corner, 2-0. Popped up behind the plate and out of play. White Sox behind Chris Sale leading the Royals 2-1. The Royals did score a run. The Royals find themselves under 500. Strike 2. Struck him out. A good inning for Caleb Thielbar as he gets 3 outs on just 10 pitches. Is presented by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. Stop in all summer for a cool, refreshing McCafe iced coffee, starting at just $1.59. Twins in front. They've led all the way here. Chris Johnson hoping for 4 innings of effective bullpen relief. And this is a great opportunity for Caleb Thielbar and company to get the job done. And now the Indians turn to their bullpen.
Yeah, their bullpen best, third best in the American League as far as combined ERA. The Twins right behind them, 4th. Seattle, Oakland, Cleveland, Minnesota, all of them have very good bullpens. C.C. Lee coming out of the bullpen. 3 different stints already this year with the Indians in his 2nd season. Lee out of Taiwan, signed by the Indians back in 2008.
Josh Willingham, a single and a run scored, a walk, and he got as far as third base. And a strike. Willingham, Suzuki, and Colabello facing C.C. Lee. And Willingham fouls it to the screen. 2 strikes.
Lee, 27 years old, 5'11", 190. Has never faced the Twins.
Missing inside, 1 and 2. Blasted to center. Back is Dickerson to make the catch. 1 down.
Just missed it. Deepest part of the field. 411 to that bullpen fence, and Willingham hit it right there.
And Hagedorn, left-hander, warming up. Suzuki with 2 hits, a 2-run double in the 2nd, and then a single he tried to stretch into a double was thrown out in the 4th. Right and short. Swisher coming in, and Suzuki has his 3rd hit. Suzuki aboard with a 1-out single.
Jumping on that first pitch, fastball, inside out swing, just hits it softly in front of Swisher in right field.
And now Colabello, who has had a couple of frustrating at-bats with men in scoring position, striking out both times. Down the middle, a strike. What the Twins saw in Tampa Bay, something every team would like to emulate. You take an early lead and you add on runs through the game, and maybe by game's end it's those add-on runs that'll make the difference between a win or a loss. Twins have had some chances here, especially in the 4th, but didn't get the job done. Strike 2.
Chris did not like that call.
Caught the corner, right?
Mm-hmm. The black.
And a base hit to right. Colabello punching it through the hole. Pair of singles with 1 out, and that'll get Parmalee to the plate.
Well, good hitting right there, defending the plate, and on a 0-2 pitch, Lee went with that breaking ball and it kind of stayed up. Flattened out a little bit right here. And Chris just hitting it the other way. Lee is done.
And Terry Francona going by the book, even though There's a chapter in there about left-handers who hit left-handers well. He'll bring in Hagedorn to pitch to Parmalee. TNT fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to #NorthFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. A young fan, a rookie Twins fan.
Maybe. Well, Nick Hagedorn coming out. He has had 4 stints this season going out of that bullpen for the Indians. Saw C.C. Lee 3 different times up and down. Now Hagedorn 4 times up and down. It's in his 4th season with the Indians.
Now Parmalee, who bounced out and walked against the left-hander House, will face Hagedorn. And you're right. Parmalee's success against left-handers this year has been to the center of the diamond. Takes up high, ball 1.
Hagedorn in 4 1/3 innings has walked 5 batters. Excuse me, 2 batters. He struck out 5. Straight over the top lefty.
And Parmalee fouling one just to our left. Place Tigers are out in front early against Arizona, 3-0. Foul back, and it's 1-2.
Hagedorn 6'5", 230, straight over the top, as I mentioned. Good fastball, slider, split finger.
That's not too bad. Oh, the Twins with the poor numbers. I thought that was a Parmalee number. Remember, Parmalee started the year 0 for 28 with men in scoring position, and then got a big hit in Colorado. Very high, 2-2. Twins have struggled in that category, hence the 3 losses against the Tampa Bay Rays.
Doing a better job tonight. Bruno.
2-2 to Parmalee. Dropped a breaking ball on him. 2 down. Pretty much what Thielbar did to Swisher for the 2nd strike. Hagedorn did to Parmalee for the third strike.
Yeah, straight over the top. That kind of froze Parmalee, and he knew it.
It's been a frustrating night at the plate for Escobar. Twice he's come up with men in scoring position and has failed to get a hit, and so he gets a third try here in the 6th inning. Suzuki at second, Colabello at first. Fastball, strike one. Ball, strike two. Another mid-90s fastball. Axford warming up. Jared Burton in the Twins pen, just starting to lob the ball. Two strikes to Escobar. There's plenty of fastball there, and as you said, it comes out of a unique spot straight over the top.
Yeah, last 3 years he's just been up and down, and again this year 4 different stints between AAA and the big leagues. So the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and I think that curveball was 79. That struck out Parmalee.
Tried to drop another curve over the corner to Escobar, but missed. 1-2. Popped up. Perez called off by Santana, who makes the catch. The Twins leave 2 more on in the 6th. Still lead by a run.
Chris Johnson looking for his first major league win. He started off in a positive direction. He struck out the side in the first, got some run support off the bat of Kurt Suzuki in the 2nd inning, driving in a couple runs. And then Trevor Plouffe, an RBI double in the 3rd inning for a 3-1 Twins lead. Jan Gomes with 2 outs on an 0-2 pitch drove in Dickerson to make it a 3-2 ball game. Now it's up to the bullpen over the last 3 innings.
Thielbar will at least start the 7th. We showed you Burton starting some warm-up tosses out in the pen, but I think the plan here is to let Thielbar hopefully pitch quickly through the 7th inning.
Only 10 pitches in that 1, 2, 3, 6th inning.
Ball 1 to Aviles, then Kipnis and Dickerson. Two and 0. And now a strike. Drilled to center. Santana with the catch. That ball tattooed for the first out.
You know, we got a great view right from here, and Santana got a very good jump on that ball.
See, even though the Twins didn't win a ball game against the Rays, it wasn't because of a bullpen collapse.
Night after night, you know, we talk about the strength of the Twins, and that has been their bullpen.
And this is a night, this is a game where the bullpen will really decide whether this game is won or lost. So far, so good. 4 up, 4 down, and now Kipnis. Another lefty. Dunsing warming up next to Burton out there. That clips the corner.
You know, Twins started with Chris Johnson, a guy that got released from the Boston Red Sox, played independent ball, then signed with the Pirates, now with the Twins. And Caleb Thielbar, almost the same thing. You know, signed with the Brewers, got released by the Brewers, played for the St. Paul Saints. And then Twins ended up signing him, and he's been a nice find.
2-1 to Kipnis. That one landing in front of right fielder Chris Parmalee, a sharp single. So really good 6th inning for Thielbar, but he's been hit hard twice here in the 7th.
That ball just left right on the same plane, and Kipnis put a good swing on it, picks up his first hit. Rick Anderson on the phone.
Making sure that presumably Burton is ready to face Gomes, barring a double play grounder here.
Right.
Dickerson entered the game after Cabrera left the game with back spasm, lower back spasms. And in 2 plate appearances, he's had an RBI single, a walk, and a run scored. He's also made a nice play in center field. Ball 1. Indians started the night with Michael Brantley, their all-star outfielder, Dickerson, and David Murphy on the bench. They've already had to go to Dickerson. There's Brantley. Didn't start. Doesn't mean he's not going to hit later. There's a strike.
Kipnis at first base, 13 stolen bases in 15 attempts.
Checked his swing, but it hit the corner. 1-2.
Breaking ball.
Yeah, nice take by Dickerson. 2-2. Twins turn to double play to end the inning in the 2nd. Kipnis represents the tying run. And they've got him picked off. And the ball thrown by Morales. And Kipnis went into a slide and will advance to third base. Thielbar threw to first. Morales took a step toward the mound before catching the ball, and the ball sailed right by him.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to catch it and then throw it quickly to second base, but never got the ball in his glove. Ball scoots down that right field line. And Kipnis, who slid into second base, got up and moved over to third.
I tell you what, the fact that he slid may have kept him from scoring. Infield in now, and the ball fouled back.
You know, they give the error to Thielbar. And Kipnis will be credited with a stolen base.
Tying run at third, one down. 2-2 to Dickerson. Breaking ball, and he got a piece. And the foul tip got a piece of Suzuki's glove. Just missed the corner. 3-2. Breaking ball got him.
Big strikeout right there for Thielbar, his second of the in relief.
Facing 6 men, retiring 5. Thielbar will leave now for Jared Burton. With Yan Gomes coming to the plate with the tying run at third and 2 down.
You mentioned how the bullpen has been very solid. Maybe the most consistent reliever of late has been Burton. And talked to him earlier today. He said he got off to a rough start this season, partly because of the cold weather. He said the old rig just didn't want to loosen up, but he got stronger after the weeks went on, and he said he was able to command his fastball better and better. Well, that's resulted in a really good month of July for him. In the last 7 appearances, guys, he's only given up 3 hits and no runs in that time span. We'll see what he can do in a very big spot here.
With the tying run at third. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, Burton pitched twice in that Tampa Bay series, 2 shutout innings combined. He's been pitching very well as of late, like Burton said, and also Jamie. He's not given up a run in the month of July. Covering 6 1/3 innings.
Yan Gomes has faced him 5 times, walked and gone 0 for 4. Twins trying to work around an error to Thielbar on a pickoff play. Second Twins error of the ball game. Trevor Plouffe a throwing error before, and now missing inside ball one.
That's the changeup right there by Burton. Has some sink to it. He'll mix in a fastball and a slider with that changeup.
Swinging a foul. That got a piece of Suzuki. Bare hand.
It's like catchers have no feelings, you know. I mean, they get hit in the hand. Okay, let's go. I'm okay. Another changeup. This will be 3 in a row.
And Burton will work ahead now, 1-2. Another one.
Let's try it again.
In the dirt. And tagged at the plate to end the inning. And Burton and Thielbar get through the 7th. And the Twins still have the lead. They'll have a chance to add to it in the bottom of the 7th because Jared Burton struck out the man he was supposed to get.
Yeah, Gomes right here. 4 straight changeups, and this one that Gomes goes after. Suzuki has to make the tag, and he tags Gomes right there for the 3rd out. So good job by Burton. Third reliever used by Terry Francona coming into the ball game. John Axford coming in. Former Brewer, former Cardinal in his first season with the Indians. Making his 43rd relief appearance. Only 30 hits allowed in 37 2/3 innings. And this copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC. I even read it better with a lead, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't sound as well when the Rays were in.
Coney Allen's the closer for Cleveland now, but Axford started the season in that role. A lot of walks per innings pitched. And Santana will lead things off for the Twins in the 7th. Santana with the Alexi Casilla playbook in his locker. Threatened to bunt, stepped up in the batter's box, and then threatened to swing away.
We see the first baseman and the third baseman in, take the bunt away.
Back to the pitcher on one hop. Ooh. Santana caught the ball, made one stab with his left foot for the base, missed, and then finally found it about a half stride before Santana did.
Well, even though you hit the ball back to the pitcher, you hustled down that line. It's just one little one hopper back to the pitcher. You see Santana. As the other Santana double stepped on the bag.
Dozier with one out. The base is empty. It's outside, ball one. To center and deep. Dickerson got hypnotized by that ball for a while, and he made the catch. 2 down. And that'll bring up Luke. Come on down, see a Twins game August 15th from Dozier's Deck. Special offer includes a Skyline deck seat plus a limited edition Brian Dozier camo t-shirt, all for just $35. A portion of the proceeds benefiting Pheasants Forever's wildlife habitat conservation efforts rather. Call 800-33-TWINS, ask for the special Dozier's Deck offer, or visit twinsbaseball.com. Dozier Deck. Bloof with a walk, a double, and a line out to center field. Strike on the outside corner. Swing and a miss.
Axford, a guy that goes straight over the top with a fastball. Very good curveball and a changeup. He saved 106 ball games in 3 years for the Brewers.
Casey Fiend potentially warming up for the 8th inning. Foul back. And in the dirt, 1-2. Seems like a good move for everybody involved when Axford signed with the Indians. They were in need of a closer. Axford, the Cardinals last year, looking to reclaim a role as a closer with somebody. Indians a good team, made postseason play last year.
Well, he's always had a good fastball. Again, straight over the top. It's just the inconsistency of the breaking ball. I think accounting for a lot of the walks. 26 walks in 38 innings pitched.
2-2. And a foul over the Twins dugout. Starters are long gone. The Twins have gotten 2 effective innings of relief from their bullpen. The Indians hoping to get a second completed effective relief inning out of Axford, with Fiend heating up. Got him with a high fastball. Twins go down 1-2-3 in the 7th. Fiend will pitch for the Twins in the 8th.
A busy day of sports tomorrow on Fox Sports North. That's because the Twins roll on with the Indians in their series. We'll have coverage at 6:30 on Fox Sports North. And it's the Lynx and the Atlanta Dream at 7. You can watch that game on Fox Sports North Plus. Now, let's go back to Target Field.
Thank you, Jeff Grayson. And we should point out to our viewers that we will not be televising Wednesday afternoon's game against Cleveland. One of just 3 games this year not on television. There's going to be a squeeze play, compressed version of what happens here Wednesday afternoon at 7 o'clock that night. Round the majors, David Ortiz, part of that big inning for the Red Sox against Toronto. Justin Morneau with a neck strain put on the disabled list. I hope it wasn't the result of his home run derby experience. And somebody was going to sign Dan Uggla to a minor league deal. Turns out it's the San Francisco Giants. And it's a minor league deal. And if he can find his swing down in the minor leagues, there's a chance the Giants might bring him up. Casey Fiend will pitch to the middle of the Cleveland lineup in the 8th inning.
Casey Fiend making his 46th relief appearance. Very good numbers for Fiend out of that bullpen.
Santana 0 for 7 against Fiend with 4 strikeouts. And breaking pitch left upstairs, ball 1. It'll be Santana, then Rayburn. He's 0 for 2 against Fiend. And then Swisher is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Brantley's come out onto the on deck circle. He will apparently hit for Rayburn. Strike on the outside corner. Santana tonight 1 for 3. Casey reaching back for 94 miles per hour.
Yeah, no fooling around with Casey Fiend. His last outing, got a lot of pitches against the Rays here on Saturday, through 21 pitches. Normally it's, 8 to 12 pitch inning.
Now with the count 1-2, the Twins are taking Trevor Plouffe and putting him on the first base side of second base. 1-2 to Santana, and he's not thrown the cutter yet. Pop foul into the seats. Had a 92 mile per hour fastball, a couple of 94s, and that breaking pitch on the first offering.
I don't remember Trevor Plouffe doing that. I mean, this might be the first for the Twins to do that. We see other clubs take that third baseman and put him over by second base, leave the shortstop there, a little more range by Escobar.
One and two. Don't know whether it was a late decision to do that within the at-bat or whether the count had something to do with it. Worth asking Ron Gardenhire after the game, particularly if it works. 1-2. Dozier knocks it down in right field, and the shift works. With Plouffe pulled over, Dozier could play in short right field, and that ball rocketed toward Parmalee, but it never got there.
Like a softball game. Put that guy, that rover, out in the outfield. Dozier, nice play. A long flip over to Morales to get Santana at first base.
One down, and now Brantley. Brantley not in the starting lineup.
It's the second nice play that Dozier has made in a ballgame. Made a nice play off a Kipnis bat in the third inning.
Trying to hit the outside corner, but missed. Ball one.
Now Brantley making the All-Star team for the first time in his career. in his 6th season with the Indians.
He might get a hit, but it won't be down the right field line. Might be an error down there, but Morales with his shadow crossing into foul territory.
Won't stay out of the extra base defense. Guard the line.
Now 2-0 to Brantley. Driven to right center. Parmalee hoping for a bounce. He'll fire to second. Brantley has a 1-out double. Not much you can do to defend that.
Well, Brantley came in hitting .326. That's his 25th double on the year. He's having a breakthrough year.
With some power. And now Swisher 0 for 2 with a walk. Swisher not hitting very good from this side, but it is better than what he's doing from the right side of the plate.
Swisher hitting just .227 as a left-handed hitter, but all 8 home runs have come from this side of the plate.
Fiend with a fastball missing low. Brantley nearly perfect in stolen bases. He is 11 for 12, and the one he was charged with, a caught stealing, was when he was at second base in Detroit over the weekend. They picked him off after taking too big of a lead, and technically it went down as a caught stealing. 2-0. Well, Fiend fell behind Brantley, and now he falls behind Swisher. Pulled to the right side. Morales to Fiend, out number 2. And Brantley advances to third. And that'll bring up Roberto Perez. Perez 0 for 3 in the game. A couple of ground balls to short. One of them turned into a double play. Tracks presented by Carrier.
Good fastball right there by Fiend.
Right where Suzuki was set up to catch it.
Sure, the umpires have to talk to this guy. Get him in that box a little quicker. Takes a long time between getting ready in that box. Watch, he'll put his right hand up.
Missing the outside corner, 1-1. Casey, it seems like, going more with a fastball slider mix than that cutter. That cutter usually comes in at 88, 89 miles per hour. I don't know that we've seen many, if any, of those.
Slider has a little tilt to it. Sometimes that little cutter stays
up the middle.
side.
A base hit will tie the game. Perez with a single. The Indians have tied it. Chris Johnson won't get his first major league win tonight.
He stayed with the fastball on Perez, and he picks up just his 3rd major league RBI, but it's a big one that ties the game at 3 apiece.
Now Chisenhall.
See, Suzuki was sitting away. The ball came back over the plate, and Perez hitting it right back up the middle.
Now a tie game. 2 away, and Chisenhall at the plate. 1 for 3. Strike on the outside corner. Brantley's pinch hit double set up a 2-out single, and we're tied. That's to the left field corner, twisting foul and back into the seats. Oh, and 2 to Lonnie Chisenhall. Another foul. Talked about Chisenhall in 3 unspectacular years with the Indians in the minor leagues, and it finally coming through. Things are clicking for him this year. Two strikes. And off the plate. And a ball pounded foul. Will have the middle of their lineup hitting in the bottom of the 8th. Fiend trying to take them there in a tie game now. Chisenhall fighting off some pitches, keeping the at bat alive.
Yeah, a lot of pitches for Fiend again in this outing. 21 pitches.
Giambi and Brantley, both pinch hitting heroes for the Indians in Terry Francona's tenure. Giambi on the disabled list. Chisenhall really battling Fiend here. Another foul ball. Runs are even, hits are even. Each team with 8 hits.
Good battle right here between Fiend and Chisenhall.
To left, Willingham toward the line makes the catch. But the Indians get a 2-out hit from Roberto Perez to tie the game.
2-run double. And Suzuki having a good night. 3 for 3, a double, couple singles. He's driven in a couple rooms, but Brantley, who pinched hit in the 8th inning, a 1-out double, moved over to third on Swisher's ground out to first, and then scored on Roberto Perez. Base hit up the middle with 2 outs. Tied the game at 3 apiece.
Next man out of the Cleveland bullpen is Brian Shaw. He's been really good against right-handers and not so good against lefties.
Shaw 4-1 out of the bullpen, 2.62 ERA, 39 hits allowed in 44 2/3 innings. 13 walks, 2 intentional, 39 strikeouts. Shaw in his second season with the Indians, coming over from the Diamondbacks, where he was there a couple of years.
Brantley taking over from Dickerson in center, and Dickerson taking over for Rayburn in left. Switch hitter Kendrys Morales, then right-handed hitters Willingham and Suzuki. Inside ball 1. The Twins have a bench of full to Arcia, Nunez, and Fryer.
Shaw with a good fastball, hard slider, occasional curveball, and a changeup.
Right-handers hitting 159 against him. Left-handers, though, hitting 367. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Morales extended his hitting streak with a second-inning single. Since then, a couple of ground balls to the left side of the infield. Outside, 2-1. Two and 1 to Kendrys Morales. Swung over an off-speed pitch, 2-2.
Yeah, the hard breaking ball there by Shaw.
White Sox beat the Royals 3-1. Old foul. Kansas City now 48-50. If the Twins can win this game, the Twins will be just 3 games behind Kansas City and 2 games behind Chicago. Two and 2. Got him with a fastball up and away, 1 down.
They chased a fastball.
And before Willingham steps in the box, let's go to Jamie Hirsch.
Thanks, guys. I just want to remind everyone that following the final out of this game, Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink, will be on. We will break down Chris Johnson's solid start and only his 3rd start of the season for the Twins. We'll also take a look at the middle of the order, able to produce. We talked in the pregame show about those 3 through 6 hitters not able to produce. Well, tonight, those guys ended up driving in all 3 runs so far. We'll also hear from Guardian, get some player reaction after the game on Twins Live.
Willingham checked his swing. No swing, ball 1. See if the middle of the order can drive in 1 more run here in the 8th inning. Willingham, single and a run scored, a walk and a fly ball to center. Hit the ball pretty hard, but hit it off on the end of the bat just a little bit. Suzuki already has a 3-hit night. One and 1. Perkins warming up in the Twins pen. Save situation or no, looks like he'll get the 9th. Two and 1. Willingham's last home run came on July 5th. It was David Phelps of the Yankees. Fouled back, out of play, 2 and 2.
Fastball away.
Missed the outside edge. 3-2. Couple of pinch running options for the Twins, including Sam Fuld if Willingham can get to first. Fuld, some trunk rotators, hoping to get in. This one hit hard to left. This has got some carry. This is to the wall. It's gone! A home run for Josh Willingham.
Looked like an off-speed pitch, and Willingham a line drive home run into the flower bed, just over the fence here in left field.
Just the third home run allowed by Shaw all year long.
And that breaking ball kind of hung, and Josh, good strong swing, puts the Twins up 4-3.
And now Suzuki drove in the first two Twins runs with a double. A pair of singles have followed. Up high, ball one. Jamie said it's been a good night for the middle of the lineup.
Yep.
And one more run produced by the middle of the lineup, the number 5 batter. Outside, 2-0. Popped up. And Santana in foul ground. Out number 2.
Come on, put a good swing on it.
And that'll bring up Colabello. In all 3 at-bats tonight, Colabello has been behind in the count right away. In the first 2 at-bats, he struck out. And in the 6th inning, he shot a base hit to right field.
Yeah, C.C. Lee left that ball out over the plate, and he shot it into right.
And a big swing on a breaking ball. On the ground, backhanded by Aviles, and a scoop at first by Santana. Josh Willingham with his 9th home run of the year, and Glenn Perkins will try to protect a 1-run lead in the 9th. The ninth anyway, but he has a save situation, a one-run lead to protect.
Yeah, looking for his 23rd save of the year. He worked in yesterday's ball game. A shutout inning through 14 pitches, 13 for strikes with a couple strikeouts against the Rays.
Perkins will face Aviles, Kipnis, and Dickerson. Sam Fuld didn't replace Josh Willingham on the bases, but he will replace him in left field. Aviles 4 for 15 against Perkins. Kipnis just 1 for 4. Belt high strike. Poked foul, 2 strikes. A 1-2-3 save in the All-Star game, and that's what Perkins would love to get here in the ninth. Very high, 1-2. Another one poked foul.
Well, Perk with 51 strikeouts and 40 1/3 innings pitched.
Golf to left. Easy play for Fuld. 1 down. Century link to what's next. Johan Pino will be called up to make the start tomorrow. A roster move coming after the game tonight. Danny Salazar.
Also another roster move for the Indians to get Salazar on the mound tomorrow.
Indians are hoping to catch lightning in a bottle with Salazar again. He was really good for them in the second half last year, and they're hoping for similar results this year. Kipnis with a single in 4 tries. And Perkins misfiring high with a number of his pitches. That's about the 3rd pitch that was left very high out of the strike zone. Another one high. The first pitch to Aviles was called a strike at or near the belt. 2-0. Eases back into the strike zone with a 94-mile-per-hour heater. On the ground, Escobar, nifty pickup. Throw him out, 2 down.
Nice play by Escobar right there. That ball kind of came up on him. It was hit sharply, but went to his left. Very smooth play.
So good play by Escobar, 2 down, and now Dickerson. Perkins equally tough against righties and lefties. Swing and a miss. Dickerson tried to tie it up. And he hit a couple home runs against Max Scherzer over the weekend. Willingham's home run. The difference so far. Just up, just away. 1-1.
Just missed.
2 strikes and a ball.
Not too many outings for Perkins where he does not get a strikeout.
And Dickerson, nothing but fastballs,
yep.
Right? Got him.
There's a strikeout.
And the first win for the Twins after the All-Star break, a dramatic one.
Yeah, great at-bat by Willingham with the home run, gave the Twins a lead, and then Perkins overpowering Dickerson, picks up his 23rd save of the year. Good win for the Twins.
Never trailed in the ball game. The Indians came back to tie it at 3. And Tom Hanneman, a really nice way to end a little 3-game skid after the break.
No question, Dick, a much-needed win for the Twins here at home, who scored first and last tonight in a big victory over the Indians. Up next on Twins Live, we'll break it all down, talk about Chris Johnson's start. We'll hear from Gardy, and we'll preview Game 2 tomorrow night.